Her family spent 16 years searching for a killer who was never there because the man who solved the crime was the one who did it. Nicole van den Hurk was 15 years old when she vanished on a Friday morning in October 1995. She lived with her grandmother in Eindhoven and had recently started working at a bakery. Her mother had died by suicide earlier that year, but Nicole kept moving forward. On October 6th, she left on her bicycle for her shift. She never made it. Police found her bike that evening in the Dommel River near a water treatment plant. Divers searched the water. They found nothing else. No witness reported seeing her after she left home. The investigation had begun, but already the trail was cold. Police arrested 5 minors near the Vonderpad cycle route shortly after Nicole disappeared. The teenagers had been causing trouble among cyclists and pedestrians. Some attended the same school as Nicole, which raised suspicions. A 45-member riot police platoon searched Eckerter Woods behind the treatment plant. A plane examined bodies of water from above. Nothing turned up. Nicole's father, Ad, consulted a psychic, leading officers to search overflow sewers. An anonymous letter arrived with a license plate number from a suspicious car. Police investigated and dismissed it. Her backpack was found on October 19th near the Eindhoven Canal. Each clue led to a dead end. A hiker found Nicole's body on November 22, 1995, between Lierop and Mierlo. She had been dead for 7 weeks. The autopsy revealed 2 fractures in her jaw, deep wounds to her head, and cuts on her fingers. She had been raped. The fatal wound was a stab to her ribs. 1,000 people attended her funeral on November the 28th. Police had hoped the discovery of her remains would generate new leads. Instead, tips slowed to a stop. By January 1996, the special investigation team shrank from 15 officers to just 4. The case was not solved. It was barely moving. In February 1996, a teenage girl from Eindhoven was arrested in Miami for drug smuggling. She told police she knew who killed Nicole and had been forced into smuggling by a drug gang involved in the murder. Nicole's father believed her. Police did not. They found no evidence to support her story. In May, Nicole's stepbrother, Andy, was arrested. After 5 days of questioning, he was released. In June, her father, Ad, was arrested. 6 days later, he was released. Both were ruled out as suspects. The police had spent months investigating the victim's own family. The real killer was never considered. 15 years passed with no arrest. Ad van den Hurk moved to Benidorm, Spain, after losing his music career and his marriage. Andy moved to England, stopped drinking, and worked construction. In 2004, a cold case team briefly re-examined Nicole's file. They found nothing new. Ad told a newspaper in 2005 that police had ruined the investigation by focusing only on him and his family. He said the real killer had been able to laugh and erase all traces. Then on March 8, 2011, Andy posted a message on Facebook that changed everything. He confessed to murder. Andy wrote, "I killed Nicole. I am turning myself in." English police arrested him immediately. He was extradited to the Netherlands and interrogated for 5 days. Investigators searched for any evidence connecting him to the crime. There was none. No DNA, no weapon, no witness. He was released. Then Andy told the truth. He had lied. He confessed only to force police to exhume Nicole's body. He wanted DNA taken from her remains. He said later, "I set myself up. It could have gone horribly wrong." His desperate plan worked. Authorities ordered the exhumation in September 2011. Nicole's body was exhumed in September 2011. Forensic teams collected new samples. 2 DNA profiles were found on her remains. One belonged to her boyfriend from 1995. The other was from an unknown male. Investigators compared that unknown profile to DNA from a 2000 sexual assault case. In that case, a woman had been pulled from her bicycle and assaulted at knife point in Valkenswaard, just 5 miles from Eindhoven. The perpetrator had been convicted in 2001. On January 14, 2014, police arrested a 46-year-old man. His DNA matched the unknown profile found on Nicole's body. Dutch privacy law allowed the media to identify the suspect only as Joost de G. He had 3 prior rape convictions and had been sentenced to preventive detention. His defense argued that Nicole's body had lain outside for 7 weeks before discovery. They said DNA degrades in weather and that preservation methods in the 1990s were primitive. Some forensic peaks did not match conclusively, leading the defense to claim a third person's DNA was present. The Dutch Supreme Court later rejected this claim, calling a third party highly unlikely. Still, the defense used this argument to push for doubt. The prosecution faced an uphill battle. In November 2015, a witness told police that Joost de G had confessed to killing Nicole. The witness reported, "He looked at me with those cold eyes and said he had killed a girl. She laughed at the size of his penis. He killed her because she ridiculed him." The defense argued the witness was motivated by reward money. In 2016, forensic experts returned to court. They testified that the DNA found on Nicole's body was 2.28 million times more likely to belong to Joost de G than to anyone else. The prosecution asked for 14 years in prison. On November 21, 2016, Joost de G was found guilty of rape, but he was acquitted of manslaughter. The court cited the possibility of a third party's DNA. He received only 5 years in prison, partly because he had been deemed legally insane. Nicole's family was devastated. Prosecutors appealed. In October 2018, the manslaughter acquittal was overturned. Joost de G was sentenced to 12 years for rape and manslaughter. In 2020, the Dutch Supreme Court upheld the sentence. Andy's lie had worked. A killer was behind bars. Nicole van den Hurk finally had justice.